Welcome, Eagles everywhere. I'm Eagles Insider Dave Spadaro. It's time for our weekly one-on-one with head coach Nick Sirianni. Monday Night Football, Washington Commanders coming to town, coach. And start with the offense here. The last two games, touchdowns in every quarter. What does that mean to you, and how do you explain that consistency?
Yeah, we weren't great before the bye in the second half as far as scoring points. Now maybe we were doing okay as far as taking some time and off the clock and being efficient, but not scoring points. And we needed to be able to put games away. And so that was a big emphasis for us over the bye week, is to be able to score points after the second half. And we've went out there and we've been able to execute and went. So that's important to our progress and where we want to go.
A lot of the success, certainly on Thursday night, seems like a million years ago in Houston, 4 of 4 in the red zone, 70% touchdown efficiency inside opponents' 20-yard line. Why the success? How do you explain being so good inside the 20?
Yeah, great execution the other day in Houston. And so a lot of that, I mean, it's just a full team sport, right? So it's going to be good offensive line play. It's going to be good tight end play. It's going to be good wide receiver play and running back play. And most importantly, quarterback play. Jalen's been very efficient in the red zone over the course of the last 2 years. And that can look differently at times, right? That's not always passing the football, but could be running the football. So his turnover to touchdown ratio, when you add up all the touchdowns, is pretty darn good. And then we're not shooting ourselves in the foot down there. We're staying ahead of the sticks. We're making sure we're in manageable third downs when we do have it, because that's a tough position to be in when you're third and long in the red zone.
Speaking of the run game, we are halfway through this 17-game season, long marathon season. You need depth at running back. You've got 4 of them on the active roster. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about your use of those 4 and what each of those 4 players bring to the table?
Yeah, sure. Miles is obviously our go-to guy who's going to get the most carries week in and week out, and he's done a great job of protecting the football, running hard, seeing the field, making really good plays. And so Miles has just been a really good player these first 8 weeks of the season. We look forward to him continuing that, And then you got guys like Boston and Kenny that spell him, right? When he needs a break, or in certain situations on third down, or in certain plays on first and second down. All right, they all have a role. And Trey just continues to wait his turn. He's continuing to progress on the scout teams and in practice. And we saw what he was able to do when he went in there. So really excited about our running back room, and we feel like we got a really good running back room with some great depth.
Nick, you talk a lot about leadership and how much it means to you as a head coach. How important is it that the right tone is set by the team, and that message from the coaching staff to the locker room is the right one?
Yeah, sure. You always want to be in lockstep with the players and going through and doing what's important to help you win football games. And we think like just the way we practice, how we go about our business, our process, and how we practice, those things are important. And we got great leaders on this football team that know what it takes to get to the top. And they know that's the common denominator of teams they've been on, and I know it's common denominator of teams I've been on are teams that practice hard, teams that connect, and teams that compete. And so we're just continuing to try to preach that, and I know the players are as well.
Speaking of that, continuing that theme, the leadership theme, Jalen is the leader here, a young guy, young quarterback in a group of very mature veteran players. It seems like he took to that role very kind of seamlessly. Your view of how that happened and why he is the guy in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, one, it's just the way he goes about his business each and every day, coming to work, working hard, being the first one here, last one to leave, studying the plan, knowing the plan inside and out. So he can go out there and execute. And so he takes his craft very serious, and he does a good job at it. And and then he's a guy you want to follow. He's completely under control in all points of the day and all points of the game. And I just think that's a natural thing for guys to want to follow him because of who he is as a leader and who he is as a football player.
On the defensive side of things here, Coach, final question. 18 takeaways, best in the league, great number. You're watching the tape, you're studying the defense. What are the factors that lead to these takeaways? What has been so impressive as you see it?
I think what you're seeing in our secondary is guys that are making opposing quarterbacks pay when they make a mistake, right? And so you see the play the other day where Davis Mills steps up in the pocket, probably makes a mistake, right, in the sense of he threw it with a little bit of pressure in his face, didn't get a great ball on it, and Chauncey was able to catch it and make it a turnover, which really swung the game. That wasn't an easy catch. And so, what I mean by that is, even if you make the slightest mistake, those guys back there can make you pay. And then, obviously, too, the way we're rushing the passer and getting hands on the ball there and being able to, take the ball away from the quarterback before he even passes it has been really good by our defensive ends, defensive tackles, and, the guys that are coming after the passer.
Monday Night Football, Washington Commanders in town. Good luck to you and the Philadelphia Eagles. Thanks so much for joining us. Our weekly one-on-one with head coach Nick Sirianni, presented by Wawa.